Kayla and welcome to Freshman Fridays number 2. Originally today we were supposed to talk about dorm room shopping, but then I got a big idea for something else I'm going to do with that one. That's going to take 2 episodes, and so it's not happening today. Instead we are going to talk about the first day of classes and the dreaded syllabus. So, I have a little bit of stuff on a list to talk about, and then I'm going to talk about these lovely things that you may or may not have seen in high school, but they're more important in college. So, the first day of class, it's always going to be awkward. I remember when I walked into my first class, my first class I had never been to before. It was a politics class, and it was in the biggest classroom that I've ever had a class in. It was a big lecture hall, and it wasn't really it was a big lecture hall, because in my school we don't really have any big lecture halls. But, like, as the size of my school, it was a very large room, and so I was like, okay. And I had no idea where to sit, and so I found myself, like, a little spot in the corner, like, by a whiteboard, and just, I was really awkward, and I didn't want to sit by anyone. It's gonna be awkward. Just sit down. Just sit down somewhere. In my next class, I just walked in and I sat somewhere. I didn't even, like, worry. My first class, I was just like, where do I sit? Oh my gosh. And so it's like, just don't worry about it. It gets so much easier as the semester goes on, obviously, but just sit somewhere. The other thing is, at my school, we have fairly small class sizes, so professors will try and learn your name. I had a professor this last semester who his goal for the first day of class, other than going over the syllabus, was to learn every single one of our names. And he went through our names like 5 times, and then the class he quizzed himself and he already had all our names memorized, which was really impressive because we weren't a super small class. And I've only ever had one class at my school where the professor didn't really know my name. Like, he knew who I was, but he didn't really know my names. He didn't know our names really well, and that was my biggest class of like 35 people. Yeah, other than that though, all my professors have known my name. So it's one of those things, it depends on school size. I know some of you guys might be going to bigger state schools and your professors might not know your names. I don't know. I've never had that experience because I go to a school where I'm lucky enough that my professors actually take the time to get to know us, which is really nice and was a lot of help coming from a high school where everyone like knew me well to like, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to go to college and none of my professors are going to give a shit about who I am, and oh my god. But they do. It's nice. I've had really good relationships with my professors. Even if I hadn't liked a class, I've liked the professor. So I've never had any bad experiences with professors, which is great. So the other thing they do, other than learning your name if you go to a small enough school where they actually can learn your name, is the syllabus. And I have 3 of mine from last semester here that I can talk about. But my most important point to this is keep the damn thing all year. You need to keep it. Because if you have a question about the class, you should not be emailing your professor right away. When you have a question, the first thing you should do is go to the syllabus and say, I didn't know what the homework was for March 7th. I don't even know if that was a class day. Let's just look though. Alright, going through here, we're in March. March 7th was the midterm. So I would know, oh, my homework for the 7th would be to study for my midterm. Or if I didn't know where in a book a reading was, I could see in the syllabus, you know, there's my reading for today, and this is on what page it's on. So that's the important thing, is don't email your professors first. If they can tell you haven't checked the syllabus, they'll say, how about you check the syllabus? And so you just need to make sure that if you have a question for professor, check first, and if you can't find it, then say, I looked through the syllabus and I couldn't find such and such, and then they'll actually answer your question. And when the professor goes through this thing in the beginning of the semester, pay attention, because I know it's one thing to be like, oh, whatever, I can read it later. You're never going to read it later. You're never going to. Like, we didn't go over the Spanish syllabus. You can tell that I haven't opened this. Like, I haven't, because, like, the professor, like, didn't really go over it, and I was just like, yeah, whatever, that's not important. You need to pay attention to the syllabus. All mine have, like, notes in them. You need to just pay attention so you have anything that you could possibly need, because these things have everything. Yes, the professors say different things that are actually on them. Like, this just said, Unit B, open scene, 3 weeks. That's the only thing that gave us the assignment, but the professor then told us, you know, explained what the open scene was supposed to be. That's a vague scene, and then how many rehearsals we had to have outside of class. And so I could take those notes so I would know that I had them when that came to the point where we were doing that scene, and I needed to know. Another nice thing about the syllabus is it tells you the grade breakdown. Where's the gun? So it tells you exactly what the class is going to be about and how you're going to earn these grades, how much you need to turn in. And all of mine go into detail about all the things that are on the grade breakdown. So like if I was curious about like what the what the exámenes parciales were for my Spanish class, I gotta flip through here, find the section that says exams down here, and read up more about what that assignment is. So they're really helpful to have. I know they seem like just a bunch of paper and a bunch of boring, but you should keep them and go through them. One of my professors, this one right here for my musicals class, he was very thorough and like put everything we needed for the class basically in our syllabus, plus a giant course pack, so it was just really, really helpful. And I know that like in high school they're completely like unnecessary, and like teachers just do them and be like, this is what we're doing the first day of class, I'm just gonna read things that none of you are gonna care about, you're gonna recycle this when you get home. In college you can't do that. You need to keep the syllabus. If you don't, you will fail, because you're just gonna be slacking, you're not gonna know what to do. All mine have all of my homework for the entire semester in them. Most professors do that, where they put all the homework for the entire semester, because they're not going to announce homework. They're going to want to get as much information in each class time that they can. So they're not going to announce homework like a normal high school class would. You need to be able to find your homework in this thing. I need to be able to open the syllabus, be like, okay, tomorrow is March 10th. I need to read this book, this in the anthology, listen to this, and watch this film. You need to be able to know that on yourself, because a big part of college is self-motivation and being able to get it done yourself and not have to be like, oh, I didn't know. Because you did know, it was in the syllabus. So that's kind of my quick little rant about the wonderful thing that a syllabus is. Yeah. So again, leave your requests for Freshman Fridays below and any other video, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!